Well, more than 125 schools, nearly 72,000 students, more than 10,000 employees. Those are the numbers tonight's Newsmaker faces every single school day.
She started this job the same week most of those students started the new academic year. Dr. Sharon Contreras has come a long way since starting out as a high school English teacher and then becoming an elementary school principal at age 27. Now as superintendent of the Piedmont Triad's largest school system, she's hit the ground touring.
Do you feel you're better for taking the AP class?
Yes.
She calls this her listening and learning tour. This visit to Page High School is just one stop in Dr. Sharon Contreras' goal of visiting each Guilford County school in her first few months on the job. Recently, she took a break to speak with me. It's a big system, 127 schools, a lot bigger than Syracuse. Has the size been intimidating to you?
So we have places where we have great programming, great schools. How do you do that in 127 schools? It's not intimidating, but it keeps me up at night.
The Syracuse I mentioned is Syracuse, New York, where Contreras led the school system for 5 years. One big similarity Syracuse has with Guilford County is it, too, is a Say Yes community.
Say Yes in Guilford County, North Carolina.
When it launched in Guilford County, Say Yes promised to make sure college tuition is paid for all qualified public high school graduates. How has Syracuse changed for the better with Say Yes in place? Have you seen better economic development?
Yes, so we saw more houses selling in Syracuse and more families coming back to Syracuse.
Guilford County also has high poverty rates and significant numbers of students who don't speak English as a first language. What will be the keys to keeping those students from falling through the cracks?
Great teachers and great leaders. I've never seen a school turn around without a great principal, and certainly the quality of a school system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. The compensation is not, in my mind, adequate in North Carolina. I believe that teachers should be paid for what they do.
So you're new. What sort of message do you have for the folks in Raleigh?
I think pay people for what they do and pay them for what they're worth.
Contreras is a big proponent of making sure these students walk the halls and into classrooms where science, technology, engineering, math, or STEM courses are taught. Would you like to see every student in the system have a laptop computer or a tablet?
I think so.
How do you promote and give STEM emphasis without sacrificing some of the liberal arts areas? I mean, you're an English teacher. I'm thinking of music and art as well.
I don't think we have to, and I think that Guilford County has done a great job when the rest of the nation has been reducing arts programs.
But for Contreras, the STEM emphasis has a personal component. She hopes one of these students will one day find a cure for diseases and other impairments like nerve hearing loss. How do you describe it? I mean, when someone asks you about your hearing loss, what do you tell them?
I can hear your voice because I have highly sophisticated digital tools helping me. Okay. But I have trouble with children's voices, women's voices, and if you were further away, I would have trouble hearing your voice. So I do read lips pretty extensively.
So Contreras plans to use that skill and others to make sure the Guilford County school system doesn't lose focus on any single child.
There's so much potential, and when we look at children, that's what we have to see. Right. We have to see this student has all the potential in the world.
As for her hearing loss, Dr. Contreras starting experiencing it about 10 years ago and believes she inherited it from her mother. Phone calls are difficult for her, so she depends on texting and emailing. She's also learning American Sign Language. And by the way, as of last week, she had visited 30 of those 127 schools. Still a ways to go, but she's determined to